Welcome back. A man with ties to the Low Country battled and survived the flesh-eating bacteria that has made national news.
ABC News 4's Nikki Gaskins traveled to Milledgeville, Georgia for this story.
I never imagined anything like what I went through.
Visiting friends in Georgia, Barry Ginn is counting his blessings. This after his close call with death after contracting a flesh-eating bacteria in late February. Only at first he didn't know it.
I thought I had torn my rotator cuff again. My arm was boiling hot, and you could just, it had swollen, unbelievable.
Ginn brushed off going to a doctor right away, but his condition only got worse.
I could not walk. My kidneys had failed.
The 59-year-old was eventually rushed to the hospital where doctors gave him the shock of a lifetime.
They kept saying necrotizing fasciitis, I was dying, and all this kind of stuff. They may have to amputate my arm.
The bacteria was quickly destroying tissue in his left arm and spreading farther down. He was rushed to MUSC in Charleston, where he was given only a 20% chance of survival.
I had 9 operations in 4 days. I died I died a couple times.
They had given him epinephrine in his heart to, bring him back.
Ginn's friend Jay Harrington traveled nearly 5 hours from Georgia to be close to his friend who fought for his life.
He was on a respirator, and he was, I think, probably what I would assume was basically a medically induced coma.
Doctors at MUSC were ready to amputate at any moment.
They had marks on my arm, and that's where they kept saying, well, if it gets here, we got to do this. If it gets down here. And it really came down to a third opinion in the operating room.
Miraculously, doctors were able to stop the spread of the infection, but had to remove his muscles in his bicep, shoulder, and chest area. Today, his upper left arm is all bone.
It's gone. They cut it away, just like they're filleting a fish.
After spending nearly a month at MUSC, Ginn was released in early March and is now sharing his story in hopes others might learn from it.
If your chest hurts, get to a doctor. If your head hurts, get to a doctor.
Now, because Barry is unable to lift his left arm, he currently undergoes physical therapy 3 to 4 times a week on Hilton Head Island. His next checkup is scheduled on July 13th at MUSC. Reporting in Milledgeville, Georgia, Nikki Gaskins, ABC News 4.
And Ginn works in real estate sales on Hilton Head Island. He says it will likely take him more than a year to make a full recovery. And the flesh-eating bacteria is getting plenty of national attention. This is a Georgia graduate student who cut her leg on a zip line earlier this month, still fights for her life. Today, Amy Copeland learned that her remaining foot and both hands would have to be amputated to stop the bacteria from spreading. When she was told, she reportedly replied, "Let's do this." Now, her other leg was amputated at the hip last week. Doctors describe her condition as critical, but her spirits are said to be high. Now, also in Spartanburg, a mother who just gave birth to twins last week is also fighting this flesh-eating bacteria. Doctors say she became very concerned about a spot on her leg. She went to the hospital. There she was diagnosed. So far, though, she has not lost any limbs.
All right, when we come back, we're going to